Good morning, ladies. We had a great time at Fall Frenzy this week in Palm Harbor, and we just love the ladies of Bible Baptist Church and the Wileys and all that they do there. It's always a great time of fellowship, and we look forward to it every year. And God just met with us there, and I'm thankful for the time that God had us there. But this morning we are getting ready for church, and I have a reading for this morning, and we're going to ask the Lord to open thou mine eyes that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. Psalm 119 verse 18, and we'll be in Genesis chapter 23. I hope you have your Bibles. Genesis chapter 23. And Sarah was 107 years old, and there were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirjath Arba, the same as Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead, and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And I think that's so telling of how much for Abraham, he didn't want to bury Sarah in his sight because he loved her so much, and it was hard for him to see where she would even be buried all the time because he missed her so much. And everyone has a different way of viewing that, and this was his way. So I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession and burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. Continuing verse 5. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my Lord, thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres bury the dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up, and bowing himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth, and he communed with them, saying, If it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat me for to Ephron the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as is worth he shall give it to me, for a possession of a burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham and the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, Nay, my Lord, hear me, the field give I thee, and the cave that is therein I give it thee, and the presence of thy sons of my people give I thee, bury the dead. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land, and he spake unto Ephron and the audience of the people of the land, saying, But if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field, take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, My Lord, hearken unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field, and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, and were in all the borders round about, and were made sure, unto Abraham for a possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, the same as Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for a possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. Sarah was a hero of faith. When you look in Hebrews chapter 11, one of my favorite chapters is you get to see all the heroes of faith. So I'd encourage you to spend time reading that when you get a minute. And as such as her passing was a big deal. And how old was Sarah when she died? She was 127 years old. I'm sure, like many of us, she probably didn't like talking about how old she was, but maybe she thought it was a amazing thing because remember, she had her first child at 90 years old. Abraham loved Sarah. He openly mourned for her. Abraham was a sojourner in that land, and God had promised to give him that land, and must have been strange for him to buy a grave that God had promised to give him and his seed. The only place that Pilgrim Abraham actually owned on earth was the grave there. So where was Sarah buried? Just to reiterate, there in the cave of Machpelah, also Canaan. How many people would eventually be buried in this tomb is 5 and all the family. In Genesis 49:29 through 31, you conceive that. So let's go ahead and turn over to Proverbs chapter 19. Proverbs 19. Are you as excited as I am to be in the Lord's house today? I hope you are getting ready for your church house today, and you are ready to meet with the Lord. Proverbs chapter 19. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good, and he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. The foolishness of man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, yet they are wanting to him. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant, to have rule over princes. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is glory to pass over a transgression. The king's wrath is as a roaring of a lion, but his favor is a dew upon the grass. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his way shall die. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment, for if thou deliver him, yet thou must do it again. Hear counsel, and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. There are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall be satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware, and reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. He that wasteth his father, and chaseth away his mother, is a son that causeth shame, and bringeth reproach. Cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causeth to err, for the words of knowledge and an ungodly witness scorneth judgment, and the mouth of the wicked devoureth iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the backs of fools. Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where the voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And them that he set a tabernacle of the sun, which is a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey in the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is a great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Let the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. When we were in church as little kids, we went to church in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. That's where I got saved. My granny and papa were taken to my church. and they sang this psalm. They a lot of times sang the psalm starting from Psalm 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. And then they would go to verse 10. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. And then we go back to verse 8. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. Back to 10. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Verse 9. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Now you can learn that psalm. Have a great day in growing in Christ.